So much pain! So much pain!
The misery of the Bears season is finally over.
Yes! Yes! Praise God! Praise God! Hallelujah! I'm saved!
Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. And I am coming to you for the last Bears reaction of the season. And the Bears end their season with a loss, finishing the year at 3-14. The 14 losses make it the most losses in franchise history. And with this loss and the Texans beating the Indianapolis Colts, the Bears have secured the #1 overall pick. And that means the Bears have had the worst record in the league this season. Now, before I get into this game against the Vikings, make sure you guys leave this video a like as it continues to help this channel to grow and it beats the YouTube algorithm. And if you are one of the people that are not subbed, make sure you click the subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the videos that I post. But let's talk about this Bears season and this Bears game against the Vikings. Without further ado, let's dive into it. Be honest with you guys, there's not a lot that we could talk about with this game. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense were clicking early and they were getting points on the board, and it just looked like the blowout that we anticipated coming into this ball game. The Bears were coming into this game with a lot of injuries: Justin Fields, Eddie Jackson, Darnell Mooney, etc., etc., Jalen Jones. A lot of the guys for this Bears roster were hurt, and the Vikings were still playing for that #2 overall seed. So this game pretty much ended the way that we thought it would end, and I thought it would have been a little bit of a bigger blowout. But this to a testament to Matt Eberflus and his style. This team shows all the fight in the world, because in a game like this, you're playing for pride. In a game like this, you don't really have much to gain from winning a game like this. You can only gain anything by losing it, and the Bears gained the #1 overall pick by losing it, but I'll get into that a little bit later and probably in a separate video as well. But when we're talking about a game of this magnitude for Minnesota, we knew that they were going to come out swinging. Dalvin Cook running the football, Alexander Madison running the football, and Kirk Cousins spreading the ball to his wide receivers, whether it was Osborne on a couple of big plays, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen for the touchdown. This offense for the Minnesota Vikings was clicking, and it's going to be a dangerous thing going into the playoffs. And the Bears starting quarterbacks like Nathan Peterman, who's an interception king, and you have Tim Boyle, who hasn't really had that much NFL experience. So the Bears at the quarterback position were already lagging, with Trevor Siemian being out for the year. The running game for the Bears, of course, is still going to be successful. Of course, another game where they had over 100 yards rushing. Herbert with 50, Vetus Jones with 42, and Montgomery with 21. And what possibly could be Montgomery's last game as a Bear, but that might be a separate video as well. You're talking about a team that was pretty much playing with preseason roster, to be honest. The Bears had so many guys hurt, so many guys down, Gordon being one of them, Sanborn, a guy who they was undrafted, he went down, Jalen Johnson, Eddie Jackson. There were a lot of guys for this Bears team hurt. And his Vikings team, out minus Harrison Smith, was pretty much a fully loaded roster. So there was only inevitable that this Minnesota Vikings team was going to come into this ball game and handle the Bears team the way that they did. It's personally a hard watch for me, being a Bears fan that I am, because number one, I don't like my team to lose, whether it's the number 1 overall pick on the line or the number 1 seed in the NFC on the line. I'm a competitive guy myself. I don't like when the Bears lose. Let's just be 100% honest. Even though the Bears gained the number 1 pick from the Texans beating the Colts, I don't like when the Bears lose. Let's just get that out of the way. Let's just be completely honest. Now, with this ball game being a pretty much, I want to say, film study for a lot of the guys on this roster, a lot of the guys that were playing in this ball game were probably not going to be a part of this Bears football team next season. Let's just pretty much call a spade, and let's be completely honest. The Bears had no shot at winning this ball game today at all. They came out, they played hard, they mustered what they could muster. Velus Jones, credit to him, tiptoeing down the sideline on that reverse and getting a 42-yard touchdown to put the Bears on the board. Kmet with a touchdown catch of himself from Nathan Peterman. So it's not like this Bears team just automatically folded and automatically just gave in. And that is one thing, like I said, that I will attest to Matt Eberflus. No matter the talent roster that this Bears team has out there, no matter the guys that are injured, no matter the guys that are out of the lineup, no matter who's in the lineup, this team is going to come out there and they're going to fight. And it's just, they are out-talented by many teams in this league. And at some point, the team's talents take over. It was just in this game, the talent for the Vikings took over pretty early. So I don't want to get into any stats of this ball game because it really doesn't matter. I don't want to get into the numbers because it really doesn't matter, to be honest with you. This Bears team was playing for pride. This Bears team was playing for film tape. This Bears team was playing for a study for a lot of these guys that is not going to be on the roster for next year. And the Minnesota Vikings, once they figured they had the number 2 seed locked up, once they figured they had this ball game won, they took their starters like Cousins and Jefferson. They took a lot of those guys out of the lineup. So pretty much after halftime, it was just a wait and see till this process was over with. It was a wait and see to if the Texans can pull off the win against the Colts, and they ended up doing that. And that makes it secure that the Bears have the number 1 overall pick. And speaking on touching on that, I want to touch on it just a little bit because I'm probably going to be more in depth on a separate video, probably dropping sometime later this week or next week. The number 1 overall pick for the Bears hasn't been done since 1947, and that was a lottery. So this is the first time in the modern era that the Bears land the number 1 overall pick, and that means you finish with the absolute worst record in the NFL. Now, we knew coming into this year, this Bears team wasn't going to be a very good football team. I had them coming in this year probably 7 wins maximum, but the receiving core was a letdown. The injuries were a definite letdown, and the trading of Roquan Smith and the trading of a guy like Robert Quinn eventually done this team in. So I'm not going to spend too much time recapping the season either. I'm probably going to do a separate video on that as well, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But in the case of this ball game, the Bears drop their 10th straight game. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy when you think about it. But nonetheless, the Vikings beat the Bears 29-13 in a season finale, and the Bears' misery of the season is finally over, and that season ends with the Bears landing the number 1 overall pick. But that's all I have for you guys today. I'm not really going to touch too much on the other topics. Those will be coming in later videos. So make sure you leave this video a like so this one can help beat the YouTube algorithm. Comment you guys' thoughts down below. I know a lot of Bear fans are happy that the Bears got the number 1 overall pick. Matter of fact, If you don't want to miss anything, make sure you click the subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss any of the videos. But for the season, this is the last reaction. APW Sports signing out. Make sure you guys stay safe. Have a great and excellent day, and I will catch you guys later on this week. As always, bear down. Peace.
I know you like this nigga here.
Stop! He's already dead.
So much pain! So much pain! Tinkleberg.